Ad infinitum, the expression of energy shapes itself according to our individual actions. Quote, despite the inherent non-existence of time itself, our perception often vacillates between envisioning it as boundless, stretching infinitely, and the practical recognition that, in reality, we should regard it as scarce. Time is insufficient, limited, and scarce. Therefore, I must allocate all my attention, energy, and value to it. Why? Because the duration of my perception of what I term my life in quantity remains uncertain. Do I contemplate this? Yes, but for me, it's intricately linked to purpose. If my time, whether limited or unknown, lacks purpose and direction, making decisions on how to invest in it becomes challenging. Consider my day-to-day time management. How much of it is devoted to rest, nurturing, and regenerating energy? This falls under the category of living a wholesome life. I avoid using the word health, as civilization often implies something is amiss in some isolated part of our bodies. Failing to see life as a holistic and wholesome apparatus that needs harmonization within its wavelength and alignment with an environment isn't clear to many. The environment allows individuals to measure or corroborate their purpose and direction. I have casually mentioned facilitating study groups in the past posts. I must share that this environment I've created has magnetized the right situations for the integration of my overall behavior. Thus, I started exploring extremes, looking for rhythm and leading by example. It has provided the opportunity to use tenacity and provocation as channeled energy to inspire others into emotional awareness, not to mold them in my image, but to realign with their purpose. Recognizing this perfect ecological balance is a key. Preparing weekly sessions brings me joy, and you may wonder, when do I manage all these tasks? Can one bend time? Due to its scarcity, time is a limitation. I focus on what I can do with my time, such as engaging in educating myself with subjects that are completely new and unknown to me. I constantly sign up for courses to introduce limitations and challenges. Maintaining a daily routine and focusing on my wholesomeness is crucial. Time is scarce, and I choose what to value, prioritizing learning and contributing. By creating situations for dialogue and learning from new perspectives, I embody how I economize my precious, irreversible resource, time. The time I won't have available to dedicate represents time lost, thus creating an opportunity cost. This limitation or absence is what bestows value on the opportunity of producing something, as everything necessitates time for its creation. Economizing time and economizing action will be explored further in subsequent texts, particularly delving into time preference. Understanding how our individual actions shape our ability to savor the enigmatic dimension of time raises the question, how much time do I have to live a purposeful life? Navigating the tapestry of optimism. In my journey to utilize Bitcoin as a synthesis of various practices I previously applied in my life or I am currently exploring, I am unraveling the mysteries of how Austrian economics, Jungian psychology, human design, evolutionary astrology, and additional studies on time cycles such as geometry, both quantitative and qualitative, interweave. Sometimes they reaffirm each other, while other times they present contrasting notes, offering me a glimpse into how to navigate and integrate all my new knowledge. Most importantly, I'm figuring out how to put it into practice. As my main aspiration in life is to evolve, it might require a touch of revolution too. Observing the fascinating connections that thread through these intellectual landscapes, which I find captivating, elegant, and full of depth, sheds light on the intricate interplay between our conscious choices, subjective preferences, and the subtle energies that quietly sculpt our lives in dissonance or alignment. These practices reveal themselves through the time cycles, and it is through time and contemplation that I come to realize that the relationship between them and how they give me a deeper perspective on my uniqueness and individuation journey. Personal accountability is a common thread between these disciplines that can offer unique perspectives on the dynamic nature of human existence. While Bitcoin may appear to be solely about blockchain, money, property, or freedom, to me it serves as the conduit connecting to its outmost value. It is not just a transactional tool, rather, it opens a gateway to a state of consciousness. Through Bitcoin, I embark on a journey that allows me to delve into both the profound depths and the surface aspects, navigating its myriad layers in between. Human action and the subjective choices that unfold within the dimension of time. Austrian economics, with its emphasis on human action and the intricate tapestry of subjective choices, seamlessly aligns with the concept of individuation, a process central to self-realization involving the discovery and experience of meaning and purpose in life, a cornerstone of Jungian psychology. The concept of praxeology, a journey into intentional human behavior, unfolds like a map, revealing the logical implications of our decisions. It acknowledges that our choices are not aimless but deliberate, driven by subjective needs, all set against the backdrop of scarce goods and how this leads to a purposeful understanding. It's a delicate choreography where our psychological tendencies gracefully intertwine with our conscious economic choices, which each move attributing value to our objectives and selecting the logical means to attain them. The deal with praxeology is this. When people act, it's not just random, it's intentional. They make choices, figure out how to reach their goals, and consider what they value. And this isn't a one-time thing. It unfolds over time, especially in the unpredictable future. Why? Because there is this belief that what you do now can really make a difference down the line. Now, when it comes to resources, having just enough is the sweet spot. If you had more than enough of everything, you wouldn't really need to do anything, right? That's where praxeology comes in, doing its thing with words instead of complicated math. The ideas in praxeology are tried and true, making sure that every step in the deduction process actually means something and stays on the money. Time emerges as a central protagonist in this interplay between economics and psychology. Our choices, like chapters in a well-scripted novel, evolve over time, influenced by the ticking urgency of our needs and the perceived worth of goods. The subjective concept of value in the Austrian economics tradition, ever-changing and deeply personal, weaves seamlessly with the flowing currents of time. Quote, human action happens across time. All economic decisions take place across time. Production requires time. That time is the ultimate resource from which all of the other resources can be made. Economic scarcity is a manifestation and consequence of the scarcity of human time. The term resource is inaccurate for material objects, as they are products of applying our time, the real resource, into transforming infinite materials into useful economic goods. We don't have resources ready-made for us to utilize to meet our needs. We need to make the resources using our time. Time is scarce because we know our life will expire someday. Saifeddin Ammous, The Principle of Economics, Chapter 3. Time. Quote, man is subject to the passing of time. He comes into existence, grows, becomes old, and passes away. His time is scarce. He must economize it as he economizes other scarce factors. The economization of time has a peculiar character because of the uniqueness and irreversibility of temporal order. Ludwig von Mises. End of quote. It is a vibrant dance where our economic decisions aren't rigid but rather fluid, moving in harmony with the rhythms of our lives. Enter biogeometry, and the exploration takes on a metaphysical hue, adding another layer to the dance of energy alignment. The notion of a design language that resonates with subtle energy systems echoes a holistic philosophies of Jungian psychology, and perhaps Austrian economics. This journey becomes a conscious interaction with the dynamic energies of money, resources, and time, creating a symphony of harmony in our lives. In the physical realm, practices like swimming, breathwork, and Tai Chi Chuan become anchors, grounding us and aligning our energy. They offer a tangible mechanical aspect to our journey, connecting us with our bodies and the present moment. On the flip side, Contemplative practices such as meditation and mindful breathing carve out a space for introspection, inviting us to explore the deeper layers of subtle energies within. It's a dance between the tangible and the intangible, a choreography of aligning our energies with aspirations and values. Venturing into territories like human design and evolutionary astrology introduces a celestial and metaphysical layer to our understanding of energy alignment. Cosmic influences like distant constellations whispering secrets provide insights into our unique strengths and challenges. Armed with this cosmic wisdom, we navigate life with profound self-awareness, aligning our energy with purpose. In the tapestry of Greek thought, psyche, or psyche, unfolds as the ethereal fabric weaving together mind, spirit, and consciousness, a dance of the soul's essence. Jung's canvas embraces this expansive concept where the collective unconscious mirrors the profound depths of the psyche, transcending the boundaries of time and space. Within the poetic realm of psychology, the heavenly domain graced by the Greek gods, also known as archetypes or primal forms, become an intrinsic part of the human soul, eluding the grasp of the conscious persona. As this exploration unfolds, the richness and depth of Austrian economics, Jungian psychology, and biogeometry continue to captivate me. These disciplines aren't just lenses. They are kaleidoscopes, revealing the dynamic essence of human existence. They empower me to create harmony, to make enlightened economic decisions, and align my energy with the very fabric of my aspirations and values. May this personal expedition of mine resonate with your own journey, bringing you a profound understanding of yourself and the world around you. Ce que j'appelle mon présent, c'est mon attitude vis-à-vis de l'avenir immédiat. C'est mon action imminente. What I call my present is my mental attitude towards the immediate future, my imminent action. Henry Bergson. Looking back to embrace the unknown. Reflecting on the journey, the sun and the earth are in gates 4424. I confront the fear of revisiting past mistakes at the crossroads of survival, embracing the opportunity to encounter and trust my inner truth. I find a better way forward. In the aftermath of eclipses and the lingering effects of the recent Venus retrograde, my contemplation centers on Saturn in Pisces, a significant aspect of my astrological configuration, as it prepares to turn direct, aligning with Jupiter, also retrograde, in the same sign and position as my birth, anticipates a harmonious cosmic dance in the coming months. Born with Saturn and Jupiter in a sextile aspect in early Pisces Taurus, these celestial companions symbolize the supportive forces shaping my life purpose. Saturn, residing in the first house and ruled by Neptune on my MC, guides me towards transcending individual actions, grounding creative endeavors with optimism, and embracing freedom over institutional validation. This time, the focus shifts from institutional to spiritual valor, a dedication to freedom and liberation from pain. Jupiter, together with the Sun and Mercury in Taurus in the third house, along with the ninth house moon, seeks expansion and joy in eternal creation. Governed by Venus, the ruler of the Taurus conjunction, this cosmic alignment infuses my being with curiosity, lively conversation, and the ability to adapt, ensuring a continual flow of enthusiasm and energy. In the future, I would like to write about qualitative and quantitative practices and their differences. Survival and continuation. I sense that tribalism is approaching its end. It nurtures hierarchies and serfdom, leaving individuals feeling devoid of choice, heavily influenced by fiat money, empowering alphabet agencies that wield control not only over the media but also higher education. Fiat money, inherently violent, is crafted to oppress and dominate at the expense of human life, regardless of tribal affiliations. This conclusion could unfold in two ways: a violent total elimination driven by the desire to control natural resources, or an enlightenment of humanity. The latter involves acknowledging that greed begets violence, and our collective well-being lies in understanding ourselves, recognizing the scarcity of time, and taking human action and accountability to make decisions that liberate us from enslavement. At this juncture, no government is safeguarding its people, none whatsoever. I leave you with an insightful talk by a comic turned podcaster whose brilliance shines through his words. His name is Konstantin Kissing, and here's the video. Footnotes. My personality's north node is in the identity center at gate 15, line 6, reflecting a collective logical flow, while my south node is in Capricorn, gate 10, line 6, also the identity center, this time representing an individual circuit with potentially varied outcomes. Overall, both nodes are centering around love expressed individually through integrity and authenticity and a broader love for humanity. Footnote number 2. Although I'm almost finished with Saifedean Ammous's latest book, The Principle of Economics, I'm currently attending his 9-month seminar. The focus on this post is on addressing the first 3 chapters: human action, value, and time. Number 3. Carl Jung calls individuation an unconscious, natural, spontaneous process, but also a relative rare one, something only experienced by those who have gone through the wearisome but indispensable business of coming to terms with the unconscious components of the personality. Number 4. Praxeology. The unique approach of the Austrian School of Economics is all about the idea that people do things. They act with purpose towards their own chosen goals. Ludwig von Mises stresses that praxeological economics figures out the logical consequences of the fact that people take action. This is coming from the Mises Institute. Number 5, the same matter. Action is the key that unlocks our perception of time, making us aware of its flowing nature. In the realm of praxeology, the idea of time is a crucial category. Action, inherently forward-looking, involves constant planning for a better future, driven by the dissatisfaction with expected conditions. Time consciousness arises as individuals strive to transform a less satisfactory present into a more favorable future. While mechanical devices measure time as past and philosophers conceptualize it as either past or future, praxeology recognizes a real extant present, where action occurs and seizes opportunities. The present, varying across different fields of action, encapsulates conditions and tasks relevant to ongoing activities. Future uncertainty leaves the delineation of the present undecided, emphasizing its significance in guiding purposefully human behavior. This is the Mises Institute. This was written by the man himself, Ludwig von Mises. Last but not least, footnote on biogeometry. Developed by Dr. Ibrahim Karim, is a patent science harnessing the energy principles of shape to balance biological energy systems and align them with the environment. The ancient Egyptians, pioneers in this field, utilized geometrical shapes not as mere symbols, but as sophisticated language to establish a profound connection with nature. Their shapes, seen in monuments, arts, and everyday items, held vibrational properties that allowed a two-way communication with the natural forces. Pythagoras later introduced the ancient Egyptian approach to correlating musical qualities with numerical values, emphasizing the golden ratio for harmony, beauty, and spirituality in sacred architecture. This awareness gradually disappeared, and our modern approach is to consider these ancient forms either as symbolic, art without function, or attribute them to magical practices. Have a good week. We have a lot of energy still charging the universe, but just stay under the shadow. And if you can refrain yourself from conflict, that would be the best thing to do. Just look inside of your conflicted self and try to find a way to integrate it. That will be the best thing that we can do for humanity itself. Love you. Bye-bye.